What's up, everyone? It's Gabby Trace here, and welcome back to the channel. The next big market catalyst is today. Bitcoin is on edge, you guys. But before we get rolling, don't forget to smash that like button. As usual, subscribe if you're new here, welcome, and hit the bell notification so you never miss a live breakdown here with me. Good morning, everyone. Oh my God, you guys, I had so many technical issues. I have actually no idea if I'm live right now. So please let me know in the chat box if everything is good. On my end, because on your end, and then I'm going to check on mine, because honestly this morning is a bit weird. You're good. All right, good. Okay, we're not live on X today because I couldn't sort it, like my browser completely. All Gucci. I like it. Okay, good. If we're Gucci, we're good to move on, you guys. Good morning. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into it. Review what's happened yesterday. Arpad, Mariana, good morning. Thank you, guys. Thank you for being proactive. Make sure to restart the chat box, and we can move on to review what's happened. So basically, yeah, the stock markets and the big US indices had a rough day. As you can see, you guys, we had most of them down, especially Dow Jones was down 1%, Nasdaq as well 1%, S&P 500, Russell actually closed green, which is interesting. So basically, like on the surface, it felt like everything was crashing, but the bread was not actually dead. So because we had more of half of the stocks was actually up. So the pain was really concentrated in the big names. So the tech was not doing that well, and consumer stocks were hit the hardest. So that's your Amazon, Nvidia, Microsoft, right? But energy names were strong in yesterday, which were helped by a higher oil and pretty much rotation into sort of like the old economy sectors, because the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq are are heavily influenced by the giant companies, right? So that's the Magnificent Seven. We're thinking about Nvidia. Mariana is driving. That's so cool. You guys, make sure to share the video also on Twitter. I don't know why I couldn't do it today, but anyway, if you can share the video, that'll be very helpful. But yeah, I just wanted to briefly mention about the Magnificent Seven, right? The Mag 7. So that's Nvidia, Apple, Microsoft, blah, 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 Meta, Google, etc. So when they all have a bad day at once, it's going to look like it's awful. But at the same time, the small caps are actually up. All right, are actually up. So it's kind of like a classic rotation, money moving out of expensive tech, going into cheaper, more defensive stuff, and some value names as well. Okay. I don't know if we're going to load. Yes, we did. Okay, good. So we had some labor market data that was leaked. So we got that delayed data right now after the shutdown. So we had some initial jobless claim. See, I can't even move. I can't even move the page. Okay, so we had some initial jobless claims of 18th of October. They came at 233,000. And then we had, so these are basically the continuous claims for people that are being on benefits, right? So that's about like 2 million people. Anyway, highest we've had since the summer, you guys. And yeah, analysts are also looking at the ADP employment and the weekly data that is showing to be sluggish. And yeah, let's see, maybe slightly negative in terms of the coming weeks. We're gonna find out. But basically, yeah, the jobless claims are how many people are usually filing for unemployment each week. So when the number is low, the market is and stable in a way, that means that the market is strong. And if we are, creeping up the numbers, that's going to mean that the economy might be losing its momentum, right? And obviously the ADP is going to be referring to the big payroll company, right? So their data is going to look at the high frequency in terms of how many jobs and businesses are adding or cutting. So that's very important. Good morning, everyone. You know what? Yesterday we had a Cloudflare outage. So it was actually really bad. see, today I'm still facing issues. So the stock went down as well, but it was like a massive outage. Everything went down. X, Chat GPT, even the earnings calls were down. It really brought down pretty much all the websites that rely on even Uber, you guys, Canva, and people couldn't even trade, right? So, but they say that it was not a cyber attack, but it was like a software slash configuration bug that caused all did. So yeah, they said they're fixing it and it's been fixed, but I'm having issues today. Might be on my end, I'm not sure. But you know what? It just reminds us that infrastructure like this, when it goes down, it's like, okay, maybe we're not as you know, good as we might have thought with all of this. It just reminds us that everything depends on few choke points, right? So very, very dangerous. Nope, not working. I want to change and speak about the Fed, but it's not allowing me. I don't know what's going on, honestly, you guys. Anyways, you guys know that basically what we're having is the cut odds are like 50-50 right now, 53.4. And, you know, the Fed's official are also publicly split on their decision, which is going to be the 9th and 10th December meeting. Some want cuts because the labor market is cooling. Others saying that inflation is really high and they're not pro for any cuts. Obviously, we want the cuts because we want cheaper money. That is going to support crypto, stock, housing, etc. Right? So right now we're having this mixed data and the markets are really 50-50 on it. So, and that's, we're going to have also the Fed minutes today. So that's very important. Most importantly as well, what we have today, if we can load, I don't know if we can, is you guys, the Nvidia earnings, right? They're coming after the bell. So that's the Wall Street's key event for the AI trade. This is what we're looking for. And the expectations are as usual that we're going to get huge revenue growth, and options are pricing for that, a massive potential move on the market cap to back all of the expectations, right? So we know that Nvidia is the top weight in S&P, Nasdaq, and really the AI tech. So whatever it does in the earnings is going to ripple through the entire market. So if we beat, that is going to be a relief rally. It's going, you know, potentially, right? Potentially, because we've seen it beat before and that doesn't happen. But if we get some sort of a, you know, sell off, if it beats, that is going to again confirm the idea that the expectations are way too high, and it potentially is going to reinforce that AI bubble narrative that we're seeing right now and trigger even more sell-offs. But of course, we can look at technically at how the markets are looking at the moment, which we're going to do, of course. Now, let's just try and change. I think it's like a Google Chrome issue that I have on my end, you guys. Are you facing any... You know what? Let me just close all the other tabs. Hoping that this is gonna be... Whilst I'm doing that, let's see who's in the chat box. Guten Morgen from Germany, Hanover. Amazing. Dub, you shouldn't be sorry that you're late, mate. You're always welcome. Monkey Van is here as well. Okay, I'm just closing tabs slowly because they're very... I just need to... Because yesterday when we had the Cloudflare outage, I did some stuff on my Google Chrome and I probably messed it up. Like I'm not gonna be surprised if that's the case. But anyway, let's move on. Bitcoin right now. If you're on Discord, you probably know the bias that we had right now. If you were yesterday, you were again early in the buys up here, which we said we're buying up to true week open and then de-risking because we don't know what's going to happen. And it did trade quite high. It did try to support it, but of course it failed because the market is very weak. Today, we pretty much had the exact same bias with some good levels of buy down here in the morning. So if you are in Discord, you probably managed to catch these trades. If you're not, then you should join, you guys. It's in the description box or in the chat box. If you're live here with me, you can get VIP access to the early morning updates that I'm giving, so you can catch these entries, right? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I think it's very helpful what I'm doing every single day, and everyone says that they're really pretty much reliant on the reports that I'm giving every morning. So I find that pretty cool. So today this was the buy with the same expectations to trade up to true week open and see if we're going to reject again. Right, the 4-hour candle, the way it's trading right now, we just opened the following 4-hour candle. We have this massive wick, so it's usually natural to get some sort of a wick fill over here. Let's see if that is going to hold, but these are the expectations that we have to retest again. True week open once more, right? Once more. It of course is going to depend on a lot of factors today. Like we said, we have Nvidia earnings, we have the Fed minutes. They're all coming, at today. Every major every major lined up with liquidity expansion, every crash lined up with liquidity tightening. It wasn't halving that drove the market; it was liquidity. Yeah, I mean, possibly, right? Possibly. At the end of the day, we're not entirely, bearish. Like if you go back like on a higher time frame and look at where we currently are, we really are at a point that we should hold at the moment. So we were kind of allowed to get to that point of exhaustion and still continue the rally. So allow us to be still positive at that point, because it hasn't really all gone down south all yet, right? So for me, I'm still positive, even though everyone else is like completely lost it at this point. For me, this is pretty much the last line of defense. After that, we're going to be looking at levels that potentially we don't want to imagine, right? We don't want to come back and retest the true year open, but that's pretty much what we're dealing with right now. So buyers are stepping in. There is a lot of activity happening in this little sort of reversal that's happening here. There is lots of volume, lots of fighting for this level. So let's see what happens. But as you guys know, we still haven't reached the 89K level, so I'm still kind of sort of expecting for that to happen. So yeah, it's not all roses yet, right? On the 4-hour time frame, it seems like it might be all roses, and this might be just a retrace. So we have a small time frame confirmation. We don't have anything on the 12-hour, but the 4-hour time frame has given some sort of confirmation right now. So positioning yourself when you can according to a strategy that you have, which we do with the range model theory. I think it's a smart thing to do at this point. I think there is nothing wrong with that, even though the market is bearishly distributing and the trend is completely against doing any of these things at the moment, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it for Bitcoin. Now Ethereum again, like even when you look at it, you have a nice liquidity that's sitting here at 3,650 for ETH, so that's not too bad. But again, we're gonna need a lot more confirmation. Am I long down here? Yes, I am. So it's extremely likely that the market is about to Omar, it's extremely likely that the market is about to do the opposite of everyone else's expectations. I mean, that's how the markets work in general, right? That's how the markets work. So how many people live do we have? To me, it seems like they're very little today. So I guess people are completely out of it. Nobody wants to trade. But however many people we have live, we definitely need to have that many likes today as well. Okay, I'm just trying to get my mojo back in, because having tech issues is honestly like the worst thing that can happen before you start a live stream. But yeah, Ethereum at levels, you do have a case for potential reversal over here. If you look at it, you on different time frames with different use case scenarios, you can see that you have potentially some sort of bearish divergence occurring here as well. So yeah, you do have a case that you could potentially hold that level and send it to 3,600. I know it doesn't look like it, but at levels like that, for me, I have to be positioned, right? That's how I look at it. And then I manage my risk depending on what's happening. day by day, right? So I manage my position on a daily basis, right? On a daily basis, depending on how the markets are moving. All right. So again, we got the buys that we were expecting to get from the previous levels of of inflection over here, right? So very obvious points of interest where the buyers need to step in. So today we need extra confirmation for that. As I'm looking at right now on the daily, it doesn't necessarily look bad. In fact, I really like this green daily close over here, bullishly engulfing on the daily. We just need to start trading above some levels, which we currently are in a way. So we're trying to protect 140 right now, and I do want to see it beat 140, 144. That's going to be even better. Right, even better. But still, let's not forget where we're standing overall. It's not an ideal situation because the trend is pretty much heavily against us, right? Heavily against us. And if we come and look at S&P 500, we can also see that we do have a case where we can reverse from here and target liquidity number 2. And we do have a case where instead of reversing immediately, we could actually go down and target this liquidity and then potentially reverse. So it's still definitely on the table. But one thing, for the S&P 500, right, we've seen this formation happening before, right? That's the thing. A lot of people are looking at the S&P 500 and they're like, oh my god, this is the top, like we're definitely gonna drop down. But we've seen these formations so many times before. Like literally we had at beginning of October for S&P 500, right? And then we rallied up. So yes, maybe we're a little bit weak right now. I understand that, but that is not entirely a confirmation of that. I think more a confirmation of that would be if we start traveling up here and then we create a lower high and then, we start dropping. So that's going to be a typical like bearish distribution, which is going to then confirm even further that we might be in for some more serious retrace than we think. But again, this is the level. All right, you have it down here, 6,500 approximately on US 500. So any weekly closes below that level are definitely going to trigger a little bit of a bigger correction. But for now, we literally have all this space over here to play with without necessarily confirming any major bearish bias. Okay, so that's very important. Yes, good morning. Hey Lloyd, hi, very happy to see everyone. You guys, make sure to like this video again, and I'm gonna ask you to please share it on Twitter as well, because I'm not sure if I managed to do it correctly. I had so many tech issues this morning. It's actually super duper annoying. What else did I want to say? Let's have a check at ETH BTC, because I also I checked the charts really quickly in the morning. Okay, so ETH BTC is looking like all right at this point, not ideal, but again, we're just grinding our way up. So the first rejection point for ETH BTC, I think might be around this area, so around probably 0.03530. So yeah, I think there is a clean path up to here, and then it's going to be very important on what's going to happen in that area. Okay, because that's if we reject again, it might be bearish once more. All right, once more. No point in looking at the futures, but yeah, overall, this is what we're dealing with at the moment. Selling pressure is pretty high. That's the idea, right? That's the idea. They're inducing buys to just smash it down once again. So we have to be aware of that agenda, right? Of inducing people here to come and buy, and then reject again. So scalping, in my opinion, in this area is probably the best thing you can do at the moment. With potential runners, very small runners, until you get like proper confirmation that we can actually start doing something more, right? Of course, I'm looking at XRP. You know, everything is at levels, really, everything is at levels. So they're either going to like bring a huge chop at the moment and then, you know, stress out everyone and create this bearish sort of bias scenario in everyone's heads before they run it back up. Absolutely possible, right? But for now, we're just being massively played with. So what you need to do is, and what I'm doing is, I'm just sticking to a playbook day by day, and that's how I get more security in my moves and what I'm doing. Right? Does that make sense? Do you guys want to look at any altcoins today? I honestly am not in the mood to do that, but we can if you guys want. Wow, look who's in the chat box. Hi, Mr. Vane. Gabby, 93k is hit, so I win our bet. Same with ETH 3.3. Now you can tell the people that I'm the best. Very clever move. Very clever move from you to influence the people. I never thought from you. Mr. Vane, what do you mean with me influencing the people? I'm sorry that you're upset that you don't have access on Discord anymore, but it is what it is. You know, I'm just trying to protect everyone on Discord, and I got very few people red flagging you, so I just had to do what I had to do. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm glad you win the bet. Congratulations. That's amazing. For me, you know, it's not really a matter of betting. I'm here every day. You don't need me. Oh, okay. Oh, that breaks my heart so much, Mr. Vane. All right, cool. So this is pretty much what I have for you today, you guys. Why are you here then? Hey, Gabby, love you. Aw, Trade Travel Chill is here. Thank you. That is so amazing that I'm getting support from you guys. Yeah, today's been a bit rough, honestly, because so many tech issues and I couldn't do anything properly. But yeah, the point is, you guys, that we're just following our playbook day by day. You know, volume is looking very weird in this area, to be fair, but this was the buy down here. And again, if you are on Discord, you have catched this trade. If you are on Discord, you have catched this trade, okay? And I don't know about Mr. Vane. He was on the Discord since forever, and he knows very well that my daily biases are 90% correct of the time. So, you know, long term, I can never tell what's going to happen to crypto. Nobody can tell what's going to happen to crypto. The fact that, you know, Mr. Vane, how dare you, you know, managed to guess early that we're getting to 93K, to me, that's pretty much like gambling 50-50 on something and saying that it's going to happen. Okay, you can't have confirmations for absolutely nothing, right? We're not stupid. We all saw the Wyckoff distribution over here with several buying climaxes, right? Selling distribution happening. We saw it, okay? We were aware that, you know, this could occur, right? So that's where we are at the moment. And it's really like the last line of defense, you guys, like I said before, really the last line of defense. If you're on the RTM trading course, by the way, like I said, you guys, it's just $200. You have your 40% discount on it. So, you know, go and grab it, because that's how you know why the areas that we mark are so important and how do they correlate with the overall bias for every single day, right? For the month, for the day, for the hour, for the session, right? No matter what sort of trader you are, you'll be able to navigate using that model. Okay. So go and grab that today, you guys, right? So yeah, if we sort of have a look here on a lower time frame, you know, if you have the indicators, if you watch the course, you know very well that when you get a triangular formation at an area of interest, which is above the true week open like that, you know that that's a sell signal. So that's the first sell signal that was over here, which was the reason why I started de-risking for my long. Disclaimer, yes. No, I'm not. I'm actually not. So everyone does everything at their own risk, of course. Right, so that was the first sell signal. So over here, massive de-risk, and down here adding to the position because we were in another buy zone from which now we're trading. And then over here I'm happy to cut again because the strength is just not here yet, right? It's just not here. And since we've already like educated on the footprint, we can have a look at what's going on a little bit in depth. Okay. Yeah, so this was pretty much right. As soon as we got at this area of interest, I'm usually looking at the volume. So that was a good buy absorption over here. That happened, and then we continued to absorb all the sells because they were trying to push price lower. And you know, pretty much the first follow through on the sell we're getting right now over here. This was one big sell candle, and then you're having the follow through right now, but as you can see, it's wicking, so this might reverse in the next 3 minutes, and it might be again not confirming that we're going down, and we're continuing up to trade. So you know, there's literally no signals for me right now to cut off my trade before I reach my target at 92.2. Does that make sense? Yes, hit the like button, you guys. I don't know what's happened. Where is everyone? How many Stanimir, how many people do we have live? From what I see, it's 30, which is so depressing. Like, we used to have 100 people before, and now it's like 30. We're like down so much from our usual viewer count. So that's why I need you guys, I need you to share this video. 30, okay, that's so depressing. I need you to share this video so we can pump the views. Yesterday was not that bad, actually. I don't know for what reason it was not that bad, but yeah. So this is the plan, okay? And let's get a little bit positive and try to have some idea of what could potentially happen from here. So ideally we want to break true week open, so that's 92.2. that's the first area. You want to break it, you want to keep it as support, so you want to see that area acting as support, and then you want to come up and you want to trade above 95.5k. Once you do that, honestly, that's going to be the first confirmation that we're probably fine. Okay, so if we have that close, and then even if we retrace, I don't care, because potentially that means that we're continuing up, right? And that's going to be at least to retest the true month open at 104.6. And if we are again bearish, that's going to mean another rejection right from it. So this is what we're dealing with right now. Down from viewers count is a bullish signal. I actually agree. You know, that's the thing. That's why I've been trying to tell everyone. Don't be discouraged right now, because it's literally the time to be on the charts. You don't have to be all the time on the charts. You just, if you have a system, you can clearly stay on the charts for not the entire day. You don't need to, unless you're trading intra-session. Yeah, so on the weekly looks absolutely horrible. It's proven to be a little bit bearish. So I don't know anymore if, you know, we might trade above $300, but we might reject from $300 again, like long-term vision, you know, because of the triangular formation that we have over here, $300 or $295, is going to prove to be a massive resistance. Does that make sense? So, you know, lots of liquidity at around 95K. I mean, even if you're blind, you know, even if you don't understand anything, you probably know that there is lots of stops down here. But the point was of the entire formation, right? You have a high and then you have a lower high and a lower low over here. So that is a bearish formation, right? Yeah, so that doesn't mean that we might not retrace up all the way back to retest even $300, but it means that potentially after we do that, we're probably going to go down again. That's how the probabilities are, you know, long term. Anyway, Solana right now, if you ignore this, let's just remove it so nobody panics. Okay. You know, you can see that you're sitting at a level where the buyers have stepped in many times before, right? So they've tried to defend the level, then came into the buy zone, which is here, right? That's a weekly level. Came into the buy zone and then reversed, right? Tried to protect the level once, failed, came to retest the buy zone twice, and then reversed, right? And now over here in June was pretty much the first time, and not even that great because you had a body close below the zones, followed by a bullish engulfing. You know, that was not that amazing, but pretty much again, you're understanding that this was the level that the buyers were defending here before we got to the sell zone at $250. So, you know, right now we're back at it, right? We're back at it. So it's pretty much a case of, are we going to defend this level once again and bring in a higher low? Or, you know, are we going to instead come down to the buy zone and like really clear the buy zone before we start getting any bounces whatsoever? So Solana looks absolutely horrible. It needs to be like picked up by real adults, not by kids, which it has been till now. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. For Sol. So major level on a daily time frame, it looks good. Like, even though you have this, right? I've seen this so many times, right? This sort of candle cluster over here. So many times. It actually doesn't look that bad, believe it or not. This could reverse, like genuinely it could. So yeah. Peter Thiel has sold his entire what is that, 100 million stake in Nvidia. Yeah, I saw that, right? I'm on top of the news. I read that every day. I mean, you know, everyone is preparing for some sort of a pullback. Everything is overvaluated at the moment, so I do understand why they would be de-risking and just waiting to get in a better level. But yeah. JP says good afternoon. Yeah, so you know, today we have very important day, Nvidia earnings, so let's see how that's gonna go. Nvidia had a very rough day yesterday. Right, we do have some gaps to fill to the upside, so there is potential, honestly, for today if that happens. And if we drop again, I have a daily level down here that I should be watching for Nvidia at 168. You know, but yeah, from right now, it's continuing to look like healthy, right? It's really at a rotation point. It hasn't really broken anything, so it might really reverse today. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, to be honest. Glad Gorilla, hello. Oh my God, 40 people. Yay. We beat the 30 mark. That's ridiculous. You guys, make sure to like this video. We need at least 40 likes. I think dollar was on the way up, gold was on the way up today. I like the fact that they're defending 4,050 here. Very important level to defend. So you know, gold could see another move up. So yeah, I had my sales at 4,250, which weren't tagged with a little bit. But again, I'm gonna be looking to sell gold in that region once more, for sure. Same with silver, actually, when I think about it. Same with silver. Yeah, weak, very weak. Look at that. The buy is getting absolutely exhausted. But yeah. So this is it really for today, you guys. I don't have anything else. I don't want to look at alts because we've looked at alts so many times and it's all the same, right? It's all the same. 4-hour time frame, you might get a weak fill, you might continue up. You know, daily, 12-hourly, you do need a close below 95. If you don't get that, you're looking at 89k with a potential of the area to be wicked or even traded through down to 87. You are welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. I think that is it for today. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to join Discord if you haven't. And check all the offers that I have for you in the description box. By the way, if you use Bluffin or if you sign up under my link, you can get VIP access in Discord for all the early trades that I give in the morning, you guys. All right, have a great day. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we have a little bit more information to work with. Have a good one.